Right, we're back to our usual weekly coverage. It's been a while. Um, Surprisingly, after looking through some of the games, right, looking through the remaining groups that we haven't covered, it's actually surprisingly doable. Like actually finishing the group stages because the last group is Group N, I believe. So that's like only if we cover until HIJK. If we cover until K today, right, then we only have two groups left. L and M. Wait, is there N or is there M? Okay, let me double check.
I,
The last group is M. The last group is only M. So if we reach K, that means we only have L and M left. L has 14 games and M has 20 games. So relatively little. I haven't actually looked through all the games yet, but yeah, those two groups will be the only ones left if we manage to finish up to K today.
okay.
And let me just double check one last time to see if anybody submitted any games.
I don't
I don't
think
think
anyone
anyone
did as
did.
well.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did, but just in case. Yep, okay, no decent any requests, so we'll just go with what we planned earlier.
Okay.
Oh wait, I should message the group.
Oh yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm not even sure if my audio should all should be fine.
The YouTube
Uh,
link you're gonna have to share that one
yeah,
yourself.
I hope it doesn't accidentally play. Okay, oh shit, it's not muted. Okay, muted. Okay, close this, close that. All right, let's get into the games. So I think the first match that we're looking at is actually the spiciest one. Between junior fried pizza and junior fried rice and homemade pizza. Like the two of them, quite decently strong players, and then both of them are quite tactical in nature. So this made for a very interesting match where it was very tense, very intense, and also a lot of tactics in the
Yeah.
positions. So let's just begin right away. We have e4, c5 for Sicilian, so you already know that
We're gonna
fireworks
get some
are going to go.
we're either gonna get some really good stuff or both players are gonna be out of theory by move five.
I don't know Sicilian theory, so as far as I'm concerned, they're out of theory by move 4 or move 3 or move 2.
Actually I think by move five is still some kind of theory.
Well, let's take a look.
Yeah.
So knight f3, knight c6, we have this is definitely very normal, very standard.
Mm.
Everybody is contesting over the d4 square. d4 anyway, c takes d4, knight takes d4. You don't want to take because it allows the queen to get to the center
And
without
nothing can like
contest.
fight the center, yeah.
Yeah. So instead e5 was played. I think this is a variation. I think I've seen this
Yeah.
somewhere before, forcing
There's
the knight to
E5,
make a
there's
decision right away.
like this, there's
Hmm.
this, there's a lot of things here.
Yep. So
There's also like this, and then you get like some knight off. No, but I believe the knight off is without knight c6.
it's not with e5 also, right?
No, no, no. Like instead of e5, I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
believe like
yeah, yeah.
this is like this, and then I think this is a knight off. I think.
No, no. I
No,
think
no, no.
I think there's
Knight
something
off is
else as well. I'm
no.
not
I
sure if
believe it knight off.
it's
I think knight off is with d6 first, and then later knight c6.
yeah something like that. Because I remember the move order is a bit different. And there's some b5, bishop b7
I
something.
think it's something like this, and then
And
something
then
like this.
here, yeah. That's definitely right.
Yeah,
Then
yeah. This is a
here
knight off.
you have the option of playing this, but more often
Yeah,
than not, you might play something like
e5 first maybe.
e5. I don't think I see e5 often.
I don't play the knight off.
Yeah, I don't either. The only line off I know is because it was some of a trendy line
Yeah, yeah.
in the top
It's a
level play.
trendy
Wait, what
GM
is this?
line
Who
for
is? Sophie Warren. I'm not sure if it's spam or if it's
it might
actually
be someone.
someone.
It might be someone I sent the link to.
Maybe, I don't know. They're typing something that I don't understand, so I'll just ignore it
Uh,
for now.
okay. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I think it's like E6.
Yeah. No, this definitely looks familiar.
Yeah, this is
But
some like GM stuff. Let's
yeah,
just
we're
not
not here to
look at
talk
that.
about Night Off. That didn't happen in the game. Instead, we got a old Sicilian, and then after this e5 move, White decided to go knight b3.
Didn't we see this before?
Yeah, normally we go
No,
knight
I
b5.
think in Group A, Volov went. I think Volov played this,
I'm not
and he
sure if
played
it's
one.
Volov, but
Someone played this.
someone also played this. I think this is the GM move. I
No,
think.
yeah, no, this is the like the typical move, but I
Yeah.
remember someone played this.
Okay. Um, my
Instead, we
memory.
got knight b3.
Yeah, instead you got knight b3. Maybe not too sure what the idea is, but it's okay. It's just a reasonable square. Knight f6, developing
Developing.
knights. Knight c3. And now this sort of looks more like a king's pawn opening, but
Yeah.
with the c and d pawn traded, right? Some kind of
Mm.
maneuver.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
And after bishop b4, pinning the knight, bishop
This is already
g5,
getting annoying.
counter pinning, h6, trying to force the issue, trade. You see a trade here, very interesting. Taking advantage, this is an in-between move, taking advantage of the fact that a check cannot be superseded by anything else. Sure, you're attacking the queen, but a check is something that you cannot ignore. Whether this move is good or not is another case. I think it's fine.
Fine, yeah, because you have to damage the structure.
Yeah,
Though honestly, I don't think White cares because they're gonna castle kingside anyway.
true. I don't think this move is bad because um, White first showed their hand by trading on f6. So White already shows that they are willing to spend two tempi to trade off a bishop for a knight. So if black so that means if black does the same, right, black doesn't actually lose any time or concede any
Mm.
positional advantage because white already did the same thing, except black's one is better because black manages to also damage the structure at the same time.
And Black can take back the queen, so Black doesn't have to do the same thing.
Yeah. So no, I mean the same thing as in like you spend two moves to develop and then you just trade it
Yeah,
off
yeah, yeah.
and a bishop for a knight. But
So Black is better already,
yeah, black is
slightly
really
better.
better because of this structural advantage. So it's not that white has nothing to play for. White still has this pawn
I
that,
mean, you have this semi-open B file, I guess.
yeah, you have the b file, you have the d file. You black needs to. The only issue the black has is this d pawn over here. If this d
Yeah,
pawn can be liquidated or successfully pushed to d5 without c4 plate, then black will be very comfortable.
yeah.
But of course, the queen recaptures first. The bishop was attacking the queen. Bishop d3 developing, reasonable. d6 preparing an eventual d5 push, not yet. Maybe preparing moves like bishop e6 or something like that.
Mhm.
You see castles getting their kings to safety. Knight d2, a very interesting choice. Sort of conceding that, you know what, maybe I want to go back. I should have went back after all
Yeah.
instead of going over to b3 where it isn't really
I
doing
mean, this is
anything.
a bit of a weird maneuver.
Yeah, but recognizing mistakes is more important than stubbornly um,
Everything
ignoring.
is instead.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So queen g6, not afraid of this vision because the pawn cannot move, and perhaps preparing something like bishop h3 over here.
Mhm.
So knight f3 is played, and this invites bishop h3 because it doesn't really do anything to stop it. Yeah, knight h4 was played as an attempt to attack the queen and both the g pawn at the same time. But the queen doesn't really have to leave the g file. There is no
Yeah, just
longer
like
any dark square
this.
bishop. Yeah, so just queen g5,
Or you can even just
maintaining.
like play for this and trade the queens,
I
and
don't
then
think
like
black wants to trade queens.
say
So
I have better structure, haha.
true, but after trading queens, it's not going to be easy to play
Yeah.
d5, and white can still try to win back the pawn
And
after
after
playing
this,
something
actually,
like
the knight's
c4.
hanging, so
Yeah, after this the knight hangs. So g3 at this point,
just loses an exchange.
yeah, loses an exchange. I guess a more resilient defense would be to play. It would be just to acknowledge that, you're in a better position. If I have to cling on, I have to cling on. It's something like queen f3, and if you
Yeah.
take, then I take back, and then you can damage the structure even further. But at least I'm not down material, right?
Mm.
Of course, black is definitely better in this position. But instead, we got g3. I'm saying that what, I want to keep my knight. My knight has prospects. If you take my
Yeah.
rook, I'm going to get a knight on
And
f5,
actually, it
and
does
that may
make
be very
sense.
strong. Yeah, it does make sense because the
With a
position
strong
is
knight, you
bad. Yeah,
yeah, white has some counterplay.
so we can already start to see some of the
Yeah.
personalities and some of the playing styles of these players over here. Very tactical and willing to go for dynamic counterplay over something like objective.
Black has to be very accurate to prove that this is winning.
Yeah, after all, it is an exchange, and exchanges can sometimes not feel as how do you put it? It depends on the dynamic.
Yeah, because you see the extra rook is here, so black actually has to bring the rook into the game first
Yeah, it depends on the
for it to be drawn.
dynamic activity of the
Mm.
pieces. That's normally how you evaluate these kinds of exchange
Yeah,
sacrifices. So bishop takes f1. Curious, perhaps
I guess
trying to
intending
plant
to
the
reroute
bishop.
the bishop here.
Yeah, somewhere over to the king side. Maybe as a defensive piece, maybe as an offensive piece. Not too sure. If it was an offensive piece, probably maybe letting it remain on d3 might have been better, and then maybe
Mm.
rerouting the queen.
I
Or
think
another potential reason is because white wants to leave the queen here and then take with the bishop. Then the queen has more scope. Maybe after knight f5, the queen may jump in or something like that at some point.
actually bishop takes is the top engine move, but I don't understand why.
Mm, is there any
Ah,
continuation?
uh, queen takes f1. There's a queen d2, but I don't understand what's. I guess king takes just looks stupid.
I wasn't considering king takes at all because I don't think it improves the position at all. Like king takes is a move that you want to play if your pieces are optimized and then
Yeah.
you want to leave them there. But I don't think white's pieces are very ideal at all.
Mm.
I guess king takes is also fine. It's not
But
too
I
much
mean
different.
the engine line is bishop takes and then rook b1. So wait, this is no, not rook b1. Yeah, I think the engine line is like a4, which is
Basically getting counterplay on the queen side.
yeah, it's very strange. But okay, so rook b1 was played instead of this engine move.
Which is a good plan actually, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
a way to find activity. If somehow like b6 can be forced or b6 can be provoked, then this knight looks a bit precarious, and then this
Mm.
queen starts to
And
look a
actually, the
lot
bishop
better.
can start to come in.
Yeah, exactly. And b6 indeed was played. You see knight f5 immediately, putting a lot of pressure onto this pawn over here. It was hanging before, but I
You don't
guess
want to take with the queen because then you open up the rooks. I mean,
true. But with this knight f5, I guess you're still not threatening to take then, because for the
yeah,
same
because you don't
reason,
want to
right? You
get
don't want to
through.
take it with either. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but it does
But I mean,
potentially some ideas in the future, I guess.
trying to keep your knight instead of going for this queen f3 is probably intending to play knight f5. It's the only square your knight can go to.
True. So g6 was played here, trying to kick the knight away immediately, and this isn't the best because now this allows um, white to
H.
essentially win this pawn, right?
No, no, I don't think you can take. Not yet.
No, this pawn, the h pawn, h pawn.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can win the h pawn.
Yeah, you win the h pawn because you can chase the queen away from the defense, and the queen
H4.
has no way of defending the pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even there, you can just
you can
queen
just
takes,
queen
pawn
takes.
takes,
Yeah,
and knight takes.
so even if like queen h5, you can just take, and this is suddenly not as bad anymore
Mm.
because now
You have a pawn
a pawn
for the
and a very active knight. Yeah. So instead, we get knight takes d6, going after this pawn over here, which does make sense. It's a more obvious free pawn, right? It's more obvious free pawn. The
mm,
issue is you
the
can bring a
pin.
rook there. Yeah, you can pin it,
Yeah,
and
this was the whole reason why you don't take with the queen like way back here,
yeah, you unleash the
because I
rooks.
mean, yeah, the rooks start to come in and it's already looking dangerous.
Yeah. So that was indeed played. I know it wasn't played. Rook A8. Wait, no, wait. Where is the move? B6, knight F5, G6, knight takes, Rook CD8. Yes, okay. So it was played, pinning the knight while getting out of the knight square at the same time. So very good move. Now this knight is very very precarious. The queen needs to somehow reroute to a square that can eventually defend the knight. But I don't think there's
You don't
actually
have enough
anywhere.
time.
There's no way to do it right actually.
You have to like do this, but you don't have the time.
But once you move away, the knight will get
Yeah.
taken.
So
Yeah.
you need like you need like an extra move to do it.
Also, it's nice thing to note that the only safe square that the queen can move to while still defending the knight are light squares. So either here or here. So that means right after you move to this
Oh, this was
square,
played.
wait, I know, but my point is, after you move to this square, there's nowhere you can move that can still maintain the
I
you can
guess
still maintain control of the knight.
you like reroute another piece to guard the thing, right? Like here to go here,
True. I was just about
but
to say that
it's still dangerous.
that wouldn't work because it's on a dark square and eventually you're just not gonna have enough pieces.
You're not gonna have enough pieces, but you have to try something. I mean,
Yeah.
it's either that or give up a knight.
So I guess rook b5 does make the most sense because
Yeah, rook
the
b5.
nice thing is the rook is defended by a pawn. So worst case you can always move your knight somewhere
Mm.
and just maybe be down more pawns. But okay,
Uh, yeah, I guess that's your best try because even if you play this with the idea to go like rook d1,
it's
you
not
don't.
enough.
You're not going to trade a queen.
Yeah, like mentioned earlier, this is a light square. The
Yeah,
dark squares are all controlled by
I
black.
guess the idea was to go for this square.
Maybe, but it's not so
It's
nice
defended now, but
when the queen is the one attacking.
mm,
The queen wants to be the one to either take last or go in first just to mate, right? You don't want to really
yeah,
take. Yeah.
I guess it's also like forcing black to handle the knight, but the knight just moves.
Yeah, the knight just moves. And the knight just moves knight e7, kicking the queen away from this square. And you can see that again the same problem occurs. The queen doesn't really have anywhere to go while maintaining control over the knight. So
Yeah,
knight takes f7 was played.
but it doesn't
Desperado.
really work because takes. I guess you take and
No,
kick anyway.
this is good. This is what white wants because after here you have pin.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, this is what white wants. But
just takes.
instead,
You don't. I don't think you have to take the knight though. Hmm. Maybe you take the pawn here.
attack the rook.
No, but then there's a fall. No, but then you just take the rook.
Just take the rook, and then after take the rook, take the knight. Then you are up.
Yeah. And then you just up like a rook, and you have ideas of this.
Yeah. So that probably isn't the way to go.
I don't think this is great.
Oh
I
wait,
think this.
it doesn't work for black in the first place anyway. So yeah, it's correct. It doesn't work for white in the first place. So it's correct,
Yeah.
right?
So black probably just
Yeah. But this
wants
is
a
still a
pawn.
very interesting try, because after
Yeah.
knight takes f7,
Of course you can't take with the rook because queen takes rook.
yeah, that's the trap, right? The trick is you can't really take with the rook because you lose
Yeah.
this, and then now white is winning. And
Mm.
also, if you take with the rook, I don't think it's that good
Take
because
with the
as
rook
you
was played, but because of the same line, but instead you're giving up an exchange. They're giving the exchange back.
yeah, and the knight doesn't have any. You can't continue attacking because
Yeah.
different
I
type of
mean, here you're still
mobility.
up an exchange though, so I guess you just move the rook somewhere, like rook a5, rook d, rook d2.
It's not so simple though because here in this position there's
Yeah,
only
you can play like
one.
you bring that back.
No, here there's only one way to maintain advantage for black.
Yeah, which is rook
Rook
d2.
d2. Yeah, you need the activity and you need to focus on the right squares because even rook a5 is not good enough. So
Ah, okay.
the pieces are swarming in,
Mm.
and this is nothing. I
I
think.
guess
Wait,
there's like
not
a.
here.
No, I
Here.
guess there's. Mm-hmm. So
You attack
you just
the bishop.
yeah, and then
Just
the bishop just
retreat.
comes out to b3.
Then this rook
Take
over here, you see, is pretty much trapped.
yeah, because of this pawn. Yeah, no, this is not.
Very dynamic way to play. Like,
This is not the black's best move. Black's just
yeah.
take the
So
pawn.
actually, this was a very very good try by white. Very very interesting
Same.
actually. And
Which is
now,
very strange.
because
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
because of this,
you can just take back.
no, but then you lose a pawn, right?
You lose a pawn, but you're still up a pawn because you have the pick.
But if you cannot lose a pawn, why would you lose a pawn?
Because now you're still up a pawn.
No, 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 no. Like if you can be up 2 pawns, why don't you want to be up 2 pawns?
I mean, but bishop c4, like, I mean, it's the same, isn't it? Takes, takes. Because takes, and you still lose a pawn.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, and this version is better.
You can't hang on to 2 pawns.
Mm.
If all this happened, oh, but
E takes d5 now. This is
yeah,
still good. Now there's a pin.
yeah, and everything just falls apart.
Yeah, and now white is just up a piece. So very resourceful of white.
Yeah,
Interesting tactics. That was a very nice shot, to be honest. Knight takes
yeah.
f7. It doesn't work, but it was a very good try.
Tricks. You have to play for tricks in that kind of position.
Yeah.
I
So trying to
probably prefer
undermine,
bishop takes, but
trying to undermine the bishop,
yeah,
and I guess White's idea was to claim that white activity, right, get the king
yeah.
up more.
And
But the
I mean,
thing
it paid off.
is, activity doesn't mean the king further up the board. Like the king is on c8 doesn't make it more active than, let's say, e4,
Yeah,
right? It also doesn't mean more centralized either. It
I
means the
wouldn't
king is
prefer
more.
this just because, like, if you take here, your king is tied to the bishop now.
Not just that, actually. Even if the bishop wasn't there,
Yeah,
you moving the king over to c4 actually decreases the activity of the king.
yeah, because you want to bring it here, honestly.
Yes, exactly. You want to bring the king to where the action is going to be. That's what activity means, not more
Because
centralized
if
or
you
more
realize you
squares
bring
to
it here, the
go.
king comes back in time to stop you.
Yeah, that is not that's a pretty futile way to go, and you're also blocking your own pawn.
And actually,
This
I
is a pass
think
pawn.
here maybe you can sack e4 with some kind of trick to
Um,
bring your own king in,
in
like
this case, you
pray.
can just play f3 and be safe forever. You can just push your
Yeah,
own
but
pawn.
you can try for tricks.
I guess as a general rule, yeah,
I mean, it's an endgame where you're completely lost. You have to do something.
true. You can always try and hope that your opponent doesn't know how to convert. Put your pawns on on dark
Yeah,
squares and pray. But anyway, yeah. E4 was. E4 was
yeah,
actually played. No, 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 no. It ended here. It ended here. After king takes, white black resign already.
yeah. Black resign, black resign.
Yeah, it was in this position black resign because up a piece, and
Yeah,
this ain't
I
the
think
draw.
this put the bishop here so that black can't do anything and just bring your king in.
You can't bring your king in here,
Yeah,
but
yeah, but like just
you
bring
want
your
your
king
king there.
here,
Yeah,
play h4, even h5, and then bring your king in.
yeah. You can also just push, and then
Yeah, so
distract
say
black.
like something like this, here,
You want to try and distract this. I
just
think
h4.
yeah, anything works at this point. I was
Yeah,
thinking
but
that
h4 just breaks apart everything.
maybe black's idea would be to try and bring the king here instead of going back to defend this pawn, like bringing the pawn the king here to push a pawn, chase the
But
bishop
then just
away.
takes, and all these pawns fall.
Yeah,
So I
I
guess like
mean
let's say even if white wastes the move, right? Like let's say white comes back,
you
just
push.
take,
Yeah,
and
you're
bring the
still
king
completely
back,
winning
and
because you can't
just because even
advance.
after you win all these pawns, you have
You
nothing
can
here to
even just
push.
push.
Yeah, or even let's just say like for the sake of discussion, right? Like what allows black to just have the pawn. Even here you have nothing.
Yeah, because all the action is on the other side. So
Yeah, the king is just too misplaced. You don't have
yeah,
any pawns to put. If there were a pawn like here, right, then black would have a chance. But
true, true. If black had another pawn, basically
yeah,
accompanying
black
the
had pawns here. If black had a pawn like here, you're not gonna do anything.
even here, this is good enough. This is good.
Yeah,
This is
here.
good. No, this
Something
is
on the
good
queen.
enough. Maybe.
Something on the queen side.
No, 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 no. Actually, this is
No,
not good
not
enough.
no
That's not
here.
good enough.
No, here not good enough because I think you can.
If it's here, then if it's black's turn, then it's enough.
Yeah, and if White's turn to move, yeah,
If it's
White
White's
promotes just in
turn,
time.
then
White promotes just in time, and because you're on the same diagonal, you can come back with a check to trade off the queens and promote something else.
yeah. I was just saying that if the pawn was here, then maybe you can check. It will be black's turn to check, but then the king is in the way. You would spend another extra tempo anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the first game. Junior Fried Rice takes the first one after an amazing comeback. Despite being down in exchange, manages to muddle up the waters enough and fire a great tactical shot to come back. So let's take a look at the next game, game two of that match. So we have knight e4, e5 game. We can see that e4 players very tactical. Knight
Hmm.
f3, knight c6, classical. Bishop c4, Italian game. Knight f6, two knights defense. Bishop knight
Ooh,
g5.
okay.
This is a knight attack, and we see d5, the main line actually. So
Oh
e takes
man,
d5, knight
Polerio.
a5. This is all
We even call it
theory.
Polerio.
What?
It's called a Polerio, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Defense.
Yeah.
Because
So,
here there's a even here you can go for like a Fritz.
but
This
it's
is what I
not the
believe.
main line, right?
Yeah, no, this is the main line.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The main line is just like this. No, no, not that.
I mean, in the night
This
attack.
is the main line.
In the night attack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, this is just what you play. This is like
Yeah.
equal, I think.
And then here, white comes up with an interesting move. Queen e2,
Mm.
giving up the light square bishop
And a pawn.
and a pawn. Which does happen. Knight takes c4, queen takes c4, queen takes d5, and a pawn. Except here, can you take this pawn? Do you dare to take
Sure.
this pawn?
No, I think your queen's like, for one, that's queen takes g2,
And now you're
and
double
then
attacking, and you're
yeah.
dead.
I mean, queen takes e5, bishop e7. No, you have nothing. Protect the rook.
Do you
No.
have? Oh wait,
Oh
what?
god.
My bad.
No. Oh wait.
Uh,
Oh
I
god.
wanted to
Okay.
press the other option. I press. Maybe using arrow keys is not the best idea.
Oh, no, my bad.
Yeah, don't use
That
arrow
was a
keys.
mistake.
Arrow keys don't work that well.
Okay. Okay. Here.
Okay, yeah. Here, I was thinking of somehow like this is a move, but not
No,
good
but the
enough.
knight, just knight takes.
Yeah, I was thinking of trying to somehow bring it to this
Like,
diagonal and try and trail the queens, but it's not.
I guess like
There's no way to do it.
here and like after this, just here. No, but that hacks the
You
knight.
lose the knight. No, you that doesn't work, right? If you do this, you can't block because then you. Oh wait, you just lose it. Yeah, you just lose the queen. Not very technically aware, but maybe no. Maybe instead of there, instead of checking, maybe okay. Like let's say here, if you really block, maybe here.
But
It
you still
works
get
on
knight back.
getting here.
But you hang both the knight and the rook.
Oh yeah,
With
true. It
check.
comes with check. Both the bishop and the rook. True. It's just too
Uh,
bad. You can't really take the pawn.
yeah.
Oh, no arrow keys. No arrow keys.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, that just shows how bad Queen E2 as an idea is because it loses a lot. After Queen takes is pretty much forced. Knight
Okay.
takes, and here we castle. White saying that okay, I messed up in the opening. At least I'm going to try and take advantage of the king still in the center, and get castled. So Bishop D6 developing, trying to get castle as well.
Maybe bishop here would have been better. Because you attack the knight with tempo. And then you can just like castle. Because let's say we play here, right? The knight doesn't really have anywhere to go.
No, but the thing is, if you just retreat, then you're attacking this pawn, and you need to spend a move to defend the pawn anyway, right?
Hmm. What if you play here?
I assume knight d4.
I mean, we can play like true stinky style and just chase the knight everywhere.
C5 is good actually. I think
Yeah,
C5 is good.
c5 and then just here we can castle.
Yeah, because you
And
do
that's
have
just
this.
yeah. and then slowly we'll play
Rook
like
e1,
a6
go out
even.
to the pawn, prepare to play this.
Yeah, a6, like play like bishop f5.
Here black is definitely better because white can't really develop
Yeah,
easily.
I mean we have this developed castle. We have the open line. This is gonna develop very soon, and your knight is here.
Yeah, and it's not really. I thought I was at first I was thinking this pawn might be a bit weak. After thinking about it,
Honestly,
white can win it. I think eventually, but at the expense of development. So
yeah,
I
you're gonna have to
think
give up a lot
white
of
has to give
time.
up pawns. White has to give up pawns.
Yeah,
It's not worth
or
it.
even black can just like in the future, not now, maybe even sacrifice it with it e3.
Yeah, sacrifice it back. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, bishop
and here
d6
you
was
also have
played.
some later. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. The idea
Yeah,
is fine. Basically, black is much better in that
yeah.
position. Bishop d6, preemptively defending the pawn, preparing the castle. Very logical move. c4, kicking the knight right away, and trying to create some squares and develop the knight behind the pawn. Knight b4, going after the rook
Actually,
over
there's no
here.
way to stop this. I mean, you have this, I guess.
Do you have to?
I
Do you
mean,
have to? Like, what if
you,
you
you can
just
you
play
can
knight
pawn.
c3?
But here,
You can just move, right? You don't mind that.
but then like bishop f5,
Could you have stopped bishop f5 anyway?
like allow this. I mean,
I mean, because knight e3, right? I think you're also allowing some stuff.
but now if it just stops anything from coming here. I mean, bishop f5 now.
But the problem is you're never kicking the knight away at this point because
Yeah,
you don't have a3, you don't have c3. Now your rook is trapped, your knight is trapped. This
I
feels
mean
worse.
you play like d3 or d4, move the bishop.
d3 is just gonna get chomped,
Oh yeah, so d4 I guess, sack d4.
but it still doesn't solve your problem, right?
It I mean you open up lines, right? So like check, or not even
You
check.
don't even
Bishop
have to take, right?
e.
Actually, you have to take. You can just
Uh,
castle even.
takes calls the
Takes is
bluff.
better probably because you don't.
Takes is just
Yeah,
calling the bluff, but castles is definitely winning.
yeah. Castles you don't have counterplay, you
Because
don't have
here,
anything.
here. I mean, this bishop is now like tied down.
Yeah. So all like these three pieces are all tied down.
Yeah,
I do like
and you're just
eventually pushing
suffocating.
c5 because you need to give squares to the knight, but
Yeah, but like let's look at like what black controls compared to white. Like black, I mean this knight just stops everything from moving. This bishop has pressure everywhere, and then I mean white has two knights doing absolutely nothing.
yeah, and the thing is right, even then this knight's control is easily contested,
Yeah,
whereas this knight is it
this
can't
knight
be
is biting
touched.
against absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it can't be touched. So instead, after knight a3, castling was played. You know what? I'm going to get my kings to safety. I'm just going to
Yeah,
develop
which
pieces,
makes
and
sense.
I'm just better, right?
Yeah.
So b3 was played. Maybe trying to develop this way,
Already I
but
don't think that's great.
yeah, it is an attempt. Like you want to
Yeah.
try and develop pieces because white recognizes that all of these pieces are way too tied down. They can't do anything.
Mm.
So it is an attempt to create more space. But the problem is white is really down in development. White is really down in development and
Yeah.
spending more moves on pawn moves just don't cut it. That's why normally you not really normally you sometimes see like grandmasters or like other chess masters sometimes just willing to even sacrifice pawns to develop pieces instead of playing something like b3. They will be more willing to play something like d4. Why? Because if
Pawns get
your
in the way
opponent
of my pieces.
yeah, if your opponent trades, that means you sort of gain the tempo at the expense of one pawn. Is it great? No, but sometimes you just need the
It's your best
development.
try
Yeah, you
probably.
just need the development. So you need the time, you need the development,
Like
and that's the
bishop
way
knight
to gain time.
e5 to trade off black strong bishop.
Yeah,
Because this bishop is really annoying.
and this knight is useless.
Yeah.
But doesn't this run back into this idea knight c2, and then if
Knight
rook
c2
b1,
move,
there's
then
bishop
bishop
f5 again.
f5. Yeah, I mean it's still terrible, but I mean what else do you have?
Like you can even okay like knight takes right.
Takes. And then
I
you
think you
already
even
have a
have
threat like this.
yeah, exactly. I was trying to say You even have knight e3.
Yeah, this is still terrible.
Then you can't really do much about it.
I mean, White's just choking to death.
Yep. But as you can see on the screen, White actually won this game. Homemade Pizza actually managed to come back from this. So let's see how they did it. After b3 was played, h6. Wait,
Oh no.
h6,
Yeah. H6.
h6. Yeah, h6 was played, kicking the knight back, claiming that the knight has no business over here, and hoping that you know what, if you come back, then my bishop can come to a nice square, something like that probably. So knight f3 was played and bishop f5.
Bishop G4 probably stronger.
Yeah, bishop g4 probably stronger. I assume that that was the idea, right? Kick the knight
Yeah.
back first, then you can develop
And then
to
yeah,
d5.
with the idea of taking a pawn.
Yeah, since the knight is so far away, you can't really. There's no way to defend the knight with
Yeah.
anything other than this pawn, right?
Mm.
Unless you unless you go king g2, but that just hangs the knight. So
Yeah.
rook e1.
I guess like no the engine says this is bad because it allows d4. Well, I mean I don't expect either side to see this.
It's more. It's not really a move of. It's not what the bishop is doing, but what the bishop is not doing. Right. The bishop is not
Yeah.
exerting any pressure. It's on a nice square. It's a nice developing move, but it isn't
Because notice how this actually does help control the center.
because it does have a threat.
Yeah, because if you take, then now you just lose the pawn.
Yeah. You might want to in
The
between, like after here, maybe take here instead. But I don't think
you
that
just
really
no, but just
helps.
take the pawn and then you hit the
And the rook is yeah, and then after you move
you
the
just
rook
lose
is
the
trapped.
bishop, and also you're down a piece.
Yeah, so that doesn't work. Um, Therefore, after bishop f5, rook e1 was played, trying to go after this pawn. Reasonable. You're not taking my knight, so I'm going to take your pawn.
Mm.
And if I manage to trade my knight for your bishop, then all my pieces can activate already
Yeah. Oh
because
god
I'll have
damn.
control over the
Wait, so
dark
this hangs a
squares
piece. Yeah, this hangs a piece. So
because of the fork,
here,
right? Is it?
yeah,
Or this
here.
one?
No, no. After you take this bishop, nothing holds it. Hangs. Nothing hangs onto this.
Yeah, true. It's discovery attack.
Yeah,
So knight c2, retreating the knight, choosing
and then
to
you just lose the exchange.
again. You see this choice made by these two players. They are willing to give up rooks. They're willing to give up exchanges because
Why is
maybe
this working?
I guess it's because at the end of the day, a piece is a piece, regardless of what you call it, a rook, a knight, or a bishop. A piece is a piece. Of course, at highest level of play, rooks can be very strong, bishops can be very strong, bishop pairs can be very strong, but at the end of the day, a piece is a piece. You can trade things down. You can trade a piece for a piece. You can make a piece as strong as another piece. Then it's a piece at the end of the day. So knight takes e1, knight c takes e1, and rook f e8. So regaining control over the center, maybe eventually trying to. Uh,
You're gonna play e4 and just run. You're
I
gonna
don't
run everything.
think that's Black's idea. Of course, you can do that. I think Black's idea is just to bring the rooks in the center and prepare moving the bishop away somewhere. Because all these pawns are on white slice squares, and if you want to move the bishop, you need to defend the pawn first. I
Mm.
think that's what Black was thinking of. And then you can all of these juicy dark squares all up for grabs after this bishop is free.
True.
So bishop b2, trying to maintain control over the dark squares. e4, running the pawn. Knight d4, attacking the bishop, so trying to gain some tempo over here. Bishop h7, so returning all the way back to h7, saying that I'm going to eventually move my bishops here, maybe gain control over
Mm.
these diagonals, and I'm going to move it all the way back to h7. This does sacrifice some flexibility, like the bishop can't really move to another diagonal easily, but I can
Yeah.
prevent any harassment in the future.
Yeah, this is a safe move.
Yeah. So there was played. Bishop h7, knight b5, and now attacking this bishop, trying to trade off the bishop pair and at least try and get into some sort of opposite bishop situation, maybe. Rook a8,
Allowing it.
simply defending, also giving up this pawn, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But White doesn't dare to.
No, but if you take, you just trap your knight, I
Yeah,
think.
you just trap your knight after.
Like
Which,
c6. c6 and the knight has nowhere to go.
yeah. So white is familiar with not having squares for pieces, and decides to instead just take the bishop pair. After rook takes, now we see something very strong incoming. Although and d4 can't even be played because of e takes d4.
Yeah.
So this is very very strong. Changing the battlefield over to the d file. Bishop c3, I guess preparing
Just hanging
something
on.
and hanging it over to the pawn. But after a6, I guess chipping away at the structure is my
Mm.
guess.
So you have to reroute this knight because this knight is completely useless.
Yep. So knight c2, we do see
Yeah,
that
knight
played.
c2.
Maybe
We do have an
blockading
idea
the
of
pawn.
maybe like trying here to blockade this pawn.
Yeah, blockade the pawn and maybe even coming over here to block the file
Mm. And
while
also you
also
open up
keeping
your
an
rook.
eye. Yeah. So c6 was played preemptively removing the square from white's choice. But
Maybe now c5 is the thing.
yeah, c5 now might be a good idea because
Like here I would just play c5 because then you just
oh,
shut it down.
you mean from black? No,
No,
I
no,
meant from
no,
white.
yeah. For white here, like c5 is the thing, but here I would play c5 just, and now white has no moves.
Doesn't this encourage this outpost then?
Uh,
Like
care
knight
about
e3,
the
just knight
output.
e3 now. Everything is
No, but
defended.
no, but after knight e3, we don't care about these d5 because if d5 we can play b5. We just undermine the whole thing.
Can you? I think okay. Like let's say right, if here, then do you want to play b5 now?
No, not now.
What will you do now? Maybe double up. I don't think doubling up is a
Yeah,
good choice
doubling
because
up.
you're gonna plug it up.
Double up. This.
This bishop is also blocked by the own pawn. The rooks are facing unless you second back the exchange.
No, but what if we double? Let's just say for discussion, let's double up.
If I just block, you want to play b5 now?
b5.
Who is faster? You have to be careful about this as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you play b5, right? Just to
Yeah,
undermine.
so just for discussion, let's say we play b5. What does white do?
Hmm. I'm not accepting challenges at the moment.
Did someone
Uh,
send you a
yeah,
challenge?
somebody sent me a challenge. Um, let's see what can white play.
Yeah, I was just saying like what just has nothing to do.
I'm trying to look through because I don't really think the structure is undermined that quickly. I think of course black is better because it's still up in exchange and all.
Yeah, but
But I
let's
don't
even say like take, and then now we just play like rook here. No, no, okay, not rook there because
not there.
but we do have an idea of
In
taking.
fact, I'm looking at bishop now, bishop e5 now.
Okay, bishop e5, rook d7.
I want to try and get my knight somewhere. Wait,
But
no, that
isn't this
doesn't
like
work.
your
That doesn't work.
perfect
That
square?
doesn't work. Yeah, that
Isn't
doesn't
this
work.
like the square that you want your knight to be on anyway?
Yeah, but it's like you know that black wants to undermine the structure, and you want to try
Yeah.
and move the knight somewhere in like preemptively, and then try and move the battlefield somewhere else. But I don't think this move works actually. Not bishop e5. Bishop e5 doesn't work.
In my opinion, it's just white has nothing to play.
Do you have this move? No,
Now,
no. It doesn't work. Alright, there's nothing. And this is nothing at all.
there's just no threat.
Bishop a5, nothing as well. Yeah, I guess pretty much. Yeah, just worse.
Yeah. But I mean, this position is bad enough that I think black can do like anything. Almost
Maybe not
anything.
anything, but
Clear almost anything because White somehow managed to win this.
are you saying it as bad enough that you can take this?
I mean, maybe.
Okay, like let's say like rook e1, maybe like just going after this. Can you take this? Like let's say we take,
Let's take a look, right? I mean, you're up a
then you
pawn,
take. Yeah, then you're out of
and
pawn.
you have the free on two.
It's actually good enough. Oh
Yeah, I
man.
think you can. And then you have this idea of b4 and take the pawn.
Yeah, true. It's actually good enough. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. Not
And
anything,
not
just
anything. Anything with
almost
the
anything.
asterisk, terms and conditions apply.
Anything that doesn't somehow lose you the game on the spot.
Yeah. So okay, let's see how how black lost the game on the spot.
Okay, so c6 instead.
C6 instead. Now C5 is very strong because you
Yeah,
have a dark square bishop, and
yeah, you're gonna kick this rook around a bit.
yeah, you're going to kick the rook around, but you also want to try and halt this bad structure. They want to freeze this bad structure. This structure is so weak and so bad, and you want to try and freeze it. Also, you
Yeah, just
potentially
don't
give
let rook
yourself
e6.
this, and then
Yeah,
the knight will be truly unstoppable.
c4 is a very nice equivalent.
Yeah. But instead, rook e1 was played going after the pawn, which is kind of a shadow threat, because I think even e6 can be played right now.
I guess you're like,
No,
yeah,
you can't.
e6. Yeah,
Can
no,
can.
e6 because knight takes knight.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the idea was like to play f3 and like maybe black blunders this.
F3 is possible actually because the dark squares are still in white's control. F3 can be a move. But if F3, are there any tactics? No, there are no tactics. Okay, never mind. I was looking for some tactics with E3, if F3, E3, but not enough.
I think knight just takes and
Yeah.
you're fine.
I was looking for like this and some tricks here, but there's
Uh,
nothing.
no, because you need the pawn there, right? Wait, no, there's no pawn
No,
there.
like like
No,
if
but
if
yeah.
if like let's say waste a move,
Mm,
like no, okay, not lose a
okay, like
pawn.
here, let's say
If
here,
F3 E3, right,
here, here.
and if you take the knight,
Okay.
then maybe here, then you might get some weird stuff going on. But it's nothing. It's
Yeah,
just a
because
bluff.
the rook holds the knight and stuff.
Yeah. So this is nothing.
I mean, I
Is
guess if like white is dumb enough to move the rook to like d1, I guess.
then you that will be self pin, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Then you just like,
That's how you lose isolated pawn positions, by the way.
yeah,
Anyway, b5 was played, encouraging c5. So definitely not the greatest move.
yeah. But instead c takes.
And a takes, and it sort of justifies the move b5, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you could take with c as well and just say like, haha, you have nothing.
I think they want to take with they want to take with a because you want to push this.
Yeah, you want these two,
Yeah,
but I
if you take
think
with c, right, it's going to be harder because the bishop controls the diagonal better, and
no,
you
but
can play a4 immediately.
I think the point of c takes is just like killing off white's counterplay.
You can play a4 immediately though.
Before we take,
Take back, then it's not as winning as before, right?
yeah, but like, where's this pawn going?
It's not going anywhere, but the thing is, you're not crushing as much.
True, but I don't know. I play for stability in my positions.
True. But the point I see with a takes, right, I see the
Yeah,
positional
you wanna
advantage.
just like you wanna just run over white
I'm
if he's
not.
too fast.
Yeah, that is like the short term plan. The long term plan is also that this weakness, like okay, this you trade the a pawn weakness for the c pawn weakness, but the
Mm,
difference is that the a pawn weakness is so much more accessible. It's an open file,
true, but
whereas
like
this
let's
c
say we
pawn
here we go
weakness,
a4 immediately, right? And if you take this is just like bad
yeah, you don't want to take. You definitely don't want to take.
here because and then just you give white the chance to make a pass pawn potentially.
You just ignore it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you have like the rooks, right? To
Yeah, you
stop
just
it.
ignore it. There's not enough support.
Yeah,
If white dares to push, then this plan is very strong.
true.
and there's not enough support because after the bishop is cut off, then the pawn is gone.
Yeah, but it's just like one more thing that you have to worry about again.
True.
If you're
True.
Magnus Carlsen, you can play this. You have my blessing.
I think both are reasonable.
Yeah, both are fine.
Yeah.
But they have different plans, so you have to
True.
decide.
And as we can see, after a takes b5, which is a more I guess dynamic way of
I
playing,
guess
but
yeah, it's more
riskier.
dynamic, and also I think it's more typical to take with the a pawn.
You want to move the pawns to the center, right? That's also
Yeah,
another
so
thing.
I think most people just instinctually take with a.
True. So after a takes b5, we see f3 over here, which is the plan
Yeah,
f3,
yeah.
and now e3 was played, and
And knight takes.
e3 is not the move because the tactics don't work out as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Instead, what would you do? Just double up?
You can double up, yeah. Or even just play like rook here. We did you did mention this just now. The a pawn is now weak.
Yeah, go through the a pawn plan
Yeah, and now there's like it's very difficult to defend
because you
this.
can win back the pawn anytime because it's on the light square and you have a light square bishop.
Now how do you defend the a pawn? Because if you play a4 first, there's I don't
You
think
just
there's
lose the pawn.
yeah there's not enough tempo to.
This is the only way, right?
But then here,
And you lose the pawn.
yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah. So anyway,
I
instead
guess you could
e3
play
was
like
played.
a3.
E3 was played.
Oh no, sorry, my bad, my bad.
Yeah, don't use arrow keys.
Yeah, my bad.
After
Uh,
e3,
yeah, okay, e3.
yeah, e3
Knight
just loses the
takes.
pawn. Knight
Yeah,
takes.
because there's no knight takes.
But
Uh,
of course, black is still better because of the
yeah, black is still
exchange and
better
everything.
because black's still up a point of material.
Yeah. And now this knight is pinned.
But now we see the problem with like bishop h7, right? Because now the bishop like isn't flexible enough to reroute here.
I guess that's why white played their next move. No wait, it's not. It's white. Sorry, it's not black. I thought white it was. I thought white played the move. Never mind. I was thinking here immediately.
Mm.
But
I
anyway,
guess it
it's
makes
white's turn.
some sense, but
It's
like
white's turn. Yeah. So
yeah, but
after bishop d4, I guess just defending the knight. But the knight is still pinned. Like even if the knight came here to defend, right, it's still not enough.
yeah. So I guess you have to like bring your king here first and then play this.
So
But then
if
you
you
just like
bring your
you just down
king
an exchange,
in, I mean, you're
and
always
then
down an exchange, right? You
yeah,
can't really say that. But this is probably still the way to go, right? Because you can
yeah,
start diffusing stuff now. And then you would require black to recognize that there really isn't anything. White can soon play knight to c2. So you need to go after the weakness, the dynamic weaknesses that you created earlier. It's now time to go. Either you play rook a8 or you play something like c5 to either go
mm.
with one of your plans. Just recognize that the
Black
e
has
file
control
plan
here.
is
Black
gone.
has all the pens.
Yeah, the e file plan is gone though. You need to change plans.
Yeah,
But instead, after bishop to d4, we see the same issue. The knight is still pinned, but black decides to switch gears and go for rook a8. Good move, actually, very good move.
yeah. Just targeting the pawn. It's very difficult to defend this thing.
There's no way to defend it actually.
Right, rook
After rook
a1,
a1,
but rook a1 is so ugly.
but it's not going to last, right? You can just double up.
Yeah, you eventually double up, but like, I mean, you don't even have to double up immediately.
I'm even looking at this sacrifice over here.
I mean, there's no need to do this, but you can.
And you can't. You can't. You're just worse now. Because after bishop c3 now, everything is
Yeah,
gone.
you have nothing.
You just lost a piece.
I mean, two pieces for a rook. Someone will find a way to lose this position somewhere.
Yeah. But anyway, rook a6 was played,
Why?
which I guess is
I,
kind
I
of
I
like
feel I
doubling
feel like
up,
rook
but not
f8
really.
a6 would have been like a better move,
Yeah, but I
but
guess the
except that it's
point.
illegal. I guess you want to play this.
Yeah, but that takes too long. My idea would be if you really want to do that, right?
Do we sack c5 to
Just
play
here,
this? No, but then like a3.
a3. Yeah, that doesn't work anymore.
I guess you like you go here maybe. No, but then you can play bishop c5 again.
Oh, you know what? You can do this first. You attack the bishop first.
Ah, okay.
Then the bishop
Bishop
has to
comes back.
defend the pawn. Then you play here. Then you can come back.
Mm.
Then you're advancing two plans at the same time. You're going for the A plan and you're also going for the bishop plan.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, this is very good. So that should have been the way to go, but instead rook a6 was played, so kind of hampering um, black's own progress of the position. King f2 was played, trying to try and take control over the e file a little bit to prevent
Mm.
and try and let the knight breathe. So rook e8, we see the plan go coming to fruition, trying to double up this way instead, the long way. Knight to d1, and now you want to reroute and try and defend the pawn, sort of anticipating that move. Um, the issue,
I guess king f2 was to avoid like any sorry, rook e1 trap.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just trying to gain control over the
Mm.
e file. And
What did
here,
black
is there any
do?
way you can prevent knight to c3? Because if you play a8, you're just gonna play knight c3, right? That's gonna be harder to
I
proceed.
mean, you can play like b4. No, but b4 it just gives you problems with like this. Do you have time to do this? Say
Mm,
rook e8.
trading pawn for pawn?
Yeah,
I don't think that's a
but in
nice
this case you
idea.
have to trade a rook because this pawn is dead. No, not it's not dead, but I think you're forced to trade a rook because your rook has nowhere else to go. And then in that position, white just has no counter piece. Because I think white's like main thing is to just like use this rook to create tricks.
Bishop c2 is an idea. Trying to distract the knight and win it more cleanly instead. And yeah, you can try and get two pawns back.
Mm. Yeah,
Now you can trade even more. Right.
and actually here you can just like you can
No, because the pawn
yeah
this.
yeah you can just take so
So you can trade whenever you want and you can also win this pawn back
yeah.
at any time. So this would be a nice way to win back a pawn and liquidate as well.
I say a3. No, but I think
a3,
white has just too many things to hold on
you
to.
have to be careful. You have to
Yeah,
be very, very careful.
white has too many weaknesses.
Hmm. Okay, but instead, after knight d1, we see rook e to a going with the plan. So good move. Knight
But
c
af
a4.
but knight
Oh,
c3 there would have held on to the pawn.
yeah. Knight c3 was a move.
Knight
It's definitely
c3,
a
I guess
move.
bishop c2 with your idea. No, but then after that we can maybe play for a4. Those a
I
takes on
think if
rook
knight c3
e4.
here, and if you go for bishop c2, maybe you
I
can
think we can
go
play
here.
a4.
Then there's no more takes
Ah,
really.
okay.
There's not enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not attacking the knight anymore,
Mm,
so it doesn't work.
yeah.
But a4 was played, giving
a4
up
just
the
loses a
pawn.
pawn.
Yeah, just loses the pawn. B takes, rook
Right.
takes, rook takes, rook takes. Now the bishop is under attack. Bishop c3, defending, very stable, blockading the pawn at the same time. Rook h4, just poking and prodding, I guess. h3,
Makes sense.
rook h5, knight e3, rook b5. This is not a good sign because the bishop is not doing anything. Bishop is not doing anything. I would like to
Yeah,
see
your
some
rook's just kind of
activation.
getting chased around.
Yeah.
Again, we see the problem with bishop h7.
Mm-hmm. Now it's a prime time to
Now
play
just
it.
bishop d3, and what does white do? I guess like knight e5. Knight e5, but then no, your bishop's in the game. Knight e5, bishop f5.
This pawn is hanging.
Okay, so maybe not bishop d3 here. Maybe you just like
Maybe here first.
uh-huh. Yeah, and then bishop d3 or something.
Then you
Bishop
come here,
c2.
force the knight back and come in.
Yeah.
Then the king can't get in as well.
Yeah.
It's still hard to make progress though. But
But
y-
what can white do is the question.
yeah, white
White
can't do
doesn't have
anything.
any
White
moves.
can't do
White
anything.
doesn't
But
have moves either.
black will eventually try to get in.
Neither side has any like moves, but black has a rook.
Yeah, if
So
everything trades down, black has a rook. If rook against knight is winning, I think.
no,
Rook
rook
against
against
bishop
knight
is not
is
winning.
in a endgame rook against knight. You can win, but it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very
Not
difficult.
easy.
But it's at least it's theoretically winning.
Yeah,
Rook
rook
against
against
bishop
bishop is
is
difficult.
not. But anyway, the power of diagonals versus files. And f6 was played, sort of blunting the bishop, putting pawns on dark squares because you have black square bishop. It makes sense,
Maybe we're gonna bring the bishop here.
maybe. Knight a5 going after the pawn. Rook c5 attacking.
Interesting move.
Yeah, it's not bad. King e3 getting the king active. Bishop c2
Now
very
the bishop
nice, finally getting
activates.
the bishop active. Potentially
Mm.
going after these pawns and like slight squares here. King
King
d4
d4, I guess is
harassing
the
the
idea.
rook. Rook d5 check. You can always check and
Check.
get back.
You have to
King
come back.
c4 just
Uh,
trying to get closer to the.
bishop d3 check.
There's nothing
And I
right.
mean, now the
Is
king's
there
in a
any?
box.
There's two squares to go to. You probably want to stay here. Do
I mean, now
you
you're
play
just in a frame.
b5?
Yeah.
Is c5?
c5, c5 king b3.
You're forced to go back. Does this
And I,
help?
I guess you just like reroute the rook here, right?
Yeah.
Well, not that,
No,
not
not
that.
that because the knight protects here. Then you can't get in. King can't get in.
Yeah, and then I guess we just like we can just trade off everything here and wait for white to run out of move.
Yeah, maybe. And then you can even just walk your king in, right? Because
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
walk the
bishop
king and
is
just win
not
all the
doing
pawns.
anything for here. You can even play bishop
And the
f1
bishop
soon.
can't actually like try to activate because you still have to hang on to this pawn.
Yeah. Bishop f1 coming very soon probably.
Mm.
Okay, nice. Instead rook g5 was played, still trying to harass the pawns. I think harassing pawn chains, bishops are much more effective than rooks. Rooks are
Yeah,
good at gobbling up pawns from different files.
yeah, because now g4 and you don't have any like thing to harass the pawns.
Yep,
And
you're
actually,
very
your rook
restricted.
barely has any squares to go to.
In fact, if black isn't careful, the rook might be trapped soon.
Yeah, I guess you
Is
play
this a
like
trap? Yeah, it's trapped, right? No, you can still
yeah.
move here. The rook can still move here and here.
But do you really like those squares?
No,
Yeah.
you lose the pawn. Actually, you're going to lose the pawn soon anyway. After
Mm.
bishop to d1, trading. I guess
Mm,
not
bishop
really
c1
trading.
now is a bit slow though.
Yeah, preferably earlier, right?
Yeah, because now I mean like
Knight takes, bishop takes,
okay, interesting.
attacking. Knight d4, attacking. Has to start to be careful of forks already. We see bishop g2 going after this pawn. Knight
Yeah,
e6, attacking.
okay. And now you can play this, I guess.
Rook g6. Oh no, this rook is gone.
Oh, oh god.
It's a fork town. Knight f4 was found, very nice. g5 loses a piece. At this point, probably the more accurate move would be to play something like this,
No,
maybe.
wait, no, you can just check.
Check.
And then you
Oh yeah,
escape.
there's even a check. Oh my god.
Okay, but
Blur.
I mean, like didn't spot the check either, so.
True. Black didn't spot the check either.
Oh god.
And we now see how white manages to come back. So very simply trading off pieces. Um, every move from white
What
is
is
going to
this
be
king
right.
maneuver?
I mean, if it works, right?
Okay.
Just
Oh,
oh yeah,
yeah.
this is black resigns. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, we
Doesn't know
see
what he even
another
does.
exchange up from the black side, and white somehow just proving that white is better by using some tactical blow to come out on top. So we should note that they are not really under any time pressure. Black has 4 minutes on in this position, and white has 3 minutes, so they still have
Hmm.
plenty of time. Maybe they should lack of awareness and maybe sense of danger when up material, I guess.
Guys, when we say checks, captures, and attacks, we don't mean play the only check in every position.
Right. So let's take a look at the third game. Oh, you're actually going slower than expected. It's 9:30
Okay.
already.
Oh god, should we speed up? Oh.
Yeah, let's just speed up a little bit. So we see another Sicilian over here, the same line. And this time we see
Oh.
knight takes d4 and queen takes
Okay.
d4. So now
That's
this
ugly.
Yeah, the queen is very nice in the center, very pretty. You see e6 and
Mm.
regular developing moves, Sicilian developing moves. Okay, interesting
Oh
idea.
no. Oh no, come on. Come on guys.
But yeah, it hangs the pawn. Queen a4 instead was played,
This is looks like bullet. This looks like bullet.
kind of. But so
On
castling,
castles.
castles,
Okay.
opposite side castling is very juicy. At
Mm.
this point, we are not going to care about accuracy of moves because opposite side castling in an attacking game, you're just going to look for ideas.
And clearly both sides have no idea what they're doing, so
Yeah, look, both sides are just saying, "Let's fight." Both sides
no,
are
no,
just going
I
for
want to
fight.
play this so much. Because you can't take.
Yeah, and you're going to trap the rook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a that's a valid idea actually. My only issue is that you might want to sack that and because you're going to direct all the attention to the queen side and open
Mm.
things up. Might backfire, but I don't think so. Like for example, here you can
Yeah,
just play
but
bishop
yeah, I
b7,
think yeah.
and there's nothing really because you still have the knight defending. And
Okay,
then
so
soon you're going to unleash everything, and black's going to be very scared.
yeah, okay.
This pawn is also hanging, but we don't care about pawns at this point. We're just going for the king. We're going for the throat. So knight b5 was played. Uh, Gaining control over
I
the dark
guess I
squares, I
guess I
guess.
guess you want to like go for here.
Yeah, makes sense. It does make sense. Bishop b7. Does it stop the
Okay.
threat? Can you go here? Oh, no, I guess not because you can just go c8, and you can't really do this anymore.
Yeah, I think you want to trade though. You want to trade rook for two pieces here.
But this though, this is positionally very strong. If you
Mm.
trade, oh,
Oh, this happened. Okay.
oh wait, this happened. Okay,
Yeah. I
this
mean,
this is very nice for what I think.
oh
Sure,
no.
black has the open file, semi-open file at least, but white has
I mean,
full
with this
control over the
dominant
center.
control.
This pawn is going to be lost, right? I think this is the way to go. You want to attack, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to
This
trade
is
this bishop for the rook.
oh god, not another rook sack. There's been a rook sack every game.
Oh wait, it was played. Oh wait, this was actually played. I was just thinking out loud. Bishop takes. I think king takes here, right?
You can check first and then play rook takes.
True, true. That's probably the better way to go. You want to, yeah, yeah. No, I don't think you want to take back the rook. You want to take back the rook? You take back the king, maybe.
Okay, let's say king b1. I mean, already here you have a fork, right?
Yeah, but what's better than a fork?
Like, let's say king.
Oh, then rook takes d7, and this is hanging.
What's the difference with this if we play rook? Sorry? Rook takes
If you take
now.
here,
Knight check? Huh?
then you have to go a1.
Takes f1. Takes. Oh, queen takes f1. Ah. Oh, and I guess the difference here is that the difference is probably that white has some check that saves the game. If we take with the king.
Let's see if in the previous variation, right? If
Let's say
here,
we take with
if
the
we take
king.
the king,
King b1 takes
no,
king.
no, no.
Okay.
Take with king,
Takes.
and then we go for the same idea, right? Let's say if rook takes d7, if here,
Takes check.
a1.
King a1 takes. Takes now. Rook fd1. What's the and I guess like this comes with check, right? So you don't have anything to draw.
Yeah, I see.
Mm. Engine, yes, engine.
Engine.
Instead, queen takes
Queen
f1.
takes was played, so still not terrible. Maintaining the rook here has its merits after all. You want to eventually play something like this, maybe?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so queen here.
So centralizing the queen, nice move. And defending
This
against this fork.
should d3
So
attacking the
trying to.
knight.
I don't really like bishop c6. Like I get the idea you're trying to hold this pawn, but sort of stopping the plan.
Yeah.
I prefer some
Mm.
kind of pawn storm. But okay, queen c5, trying to trade
Oh,
queens.
But just take the piece, right? Because if
Yeah,
queen takes, you have rook takes, and you hold the piece.
yeah, exactly. And that was what happened.
Oh god.
Bishop takes, queen
Oh
takes, rook
no.
takes, bishop takes, rook takes.
Oh
And
god.
now white
Oh
is
no.
up a rook.
Oh my god.
Once again, exchange sacrifice.
No, this time it didn't work.
It hasn't worked ever, right?
No,
Oh no no no
the
no
previous
no no.
games were
Sorry sorry
won
sorry.
with.
Yeah yeah yeah. Previously it always worked. In this case,
I guess it only works with white.
yeah. I guess the lesson is just white is too good.
White is just best.
Yeah, white is just too good. So it's a d5,
D5,
d4,
D4,
c8.
C8.
Okay, we're just gonna zoom past this because up a rook, even at 1200 level, is
Yeah,
already
okay, and everything's going.
everything falls. Wait,
Okay,
it took so
interesting.
long? Why not just take all the pawns? Just take all the pawns.
Oh no, check. I guess the trading the rook was the more important idea.
I mean, it's definitely tempting,
Black
and
resigns.
black just resigns. Enough is enough.
Okay, next game.
Yep, let's go next game.
Okay.
At this point, white has won 3 of the 4 games, even this last game. So white has won all the games.
Oh, okay, okay. I like to see. We love to see it.
Yep, main line this time instead of a knight attack. Castles
Yeah.
h6. You're the Italian
Uh,
guy. What's the issue with this move?
you play d3 because you want to play c3. That's the biggest problem with the move.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Like here right
Okay.
you go for Druco Pianissimo. Most people go for Druco Pianissimo
Mm-hmm.
because if not right, let's say in a Pianissimo line, let's say without let's say like instead of this here right, normally you play c3 first to go d4.
Yeah.
But since you've committed your pawn to d3, let me just like go back to it. Since you've committed your pawn to d3, most people just play c3. You go for c3 here to play d4
So
because that's your
basically,
main pawn.
what you're saying is, without playing c3, essentially you give up any white advantage because the holding is symmetrical. You lose any initiative, and there's
Yeah,
nothing
because
in the
I
position.
mean you want to eventually crack the position open with c3 d4.
True. I guess this is taking it in a different direction. This is a completely different way of playing it. Instead of a Gioco Pianissimo, this looks a lot more like a Italian four knights instead, right? Italian four knights without
Yeah,
the
this is
center
an
fork trick.
Italian form,
This is like Italian fork knights, but
but
you
like
play
the pawn is
d3
here.
first, so you don't get this knight takes e4 move, avoiding the Halloween
You play
gambit.
d3 and then somehow the bishop teleports over here.
Hmm, that always it's always out, right? Even in Italian, right?
Say
Italian four
yeah.
knights. This is still Italian four
Yeah,
knights.
I guess it's transposition into
Yeah,
Italian
it's
four knights.
transposition into
You play
Italian four
d3
knights.
first.
It feels like that's the idea, right? Because you play this, then you want
Guess.
to try and get here, maybe introduce some imbalances,
Mm.
and play from an equal position. I think
This is a surprising choice though.
I think it's because it's a more familiar position for newer players.
Fair.
The four knights game is probably the most played e4 opening.
Yeah. In beginner level.
Yeah, at beginner to intermediate level. So instead we get castles.
Here you can already
Um,
play like the typical bishop e3, because of course there's none of this.
yeah, there's bishop a7 though. I think bishop a7 is the line.
Bishop a7, but takes.
I think that's normal, right? You see that in a
No,
lot
but
of a lot of Ray Lopez positions.
yeah, but this isn't a Ruy Lopez. Like, what is your
I
knight rook?
I
What is your
haven't
rook
played
doing here
e4 in a
again?
long time. I don't.
Fair. I mean, I stopped playing e4 in classical, so fair enough.
Yeah, so it feels still okay though, but
Yeah, it's fine.
definitely, yeah,
It just looks ugly for black.
true.
But I don't think white's position is active enough to take
It's
advantage.
because White didn't play c3 earlier, so there's no way to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
White gave up all
White
initiative.
pieces are placed wrong. You can't take advantage of this yet.
Everything is just too closed. So
Mm.
yeah, everything is well defended. So after after we got b4, kicking the bishop away this way instead of bishop e3. So instead of developing, maybe trying to develop this way instead, maybe like some sort of what's the variation called? I forgot
Marshall?
what the variation. It's not Marshall. Marshall is not like this, right?
No, 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 Marshall. Sorry. What's it
Anti
called? There's some.
Berlin.
No, but anti-Berlin usually you play c3.
Yeah, true. c3 again. c3 is haunting the position.
Uh,
Uh, Never mind.
what,
But
what do you? Evans Gambit. Yes,
Evans Gambit is without the pawn here, right?
I am aware, but like d4, you know.
And also you want to play c3.
Oh God.
Yeah, you also want to play c3 in that position to play e4, play d4.
I mean, in e4 you're just supposed to play c3. I think is the
I mean,
point.
right, that's the whole philosophical point, right? The whole point of classical openings is you want to control the center by putting a pawn on e4 and a pawn on d4. After you play e4, you want to put a pawn on d4. That's the whole point of all
Yeah,
openings, all
yeah.
e4 openings. So,
Or hell, there's the English opening where you put the c pawn first to control the center from the flank.
yeah. Okay, never mind. Is that we try to, this is a different approach. We are trying to push the bishop away from the flank and develop our pieces on the flank instead. So rather than playing in the center, maybe one is trying to go for some sort of more dynamic idea. As we can see,
Mm.
these two players like to play, right? They like to
Yeah,
charge
yeah,
up their pieces and then unleash their tactics.
yeah.
So
B4 is
bishop
nice. Right?
a7, bishop a7,
Bishop
logical
B2
move.
standard.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the move in the first place. And
Okay. Bit of a
b5,
weird move.
sort of, I guess, trying to counter
I mean,
the move.
yeah. In most of these positions, black just kind of like follows white. Just does whatever white does.
Except
So
it's a
fair
bit
enough.
different because this bishop pair is a lot stronger than this bishop pair right now.
Yeah, because this bishop is not doing anything. I mean,
Yeah.
this thing
Even
is
if
just.
you play bishop b7 right now, this still looks a lot stronger.
Yeah, I think it's because the bishop is here instead of here.
I think it's also because of the pawn structure, right?
Yeah.
So far, this still looks more fragile. You can even play this, right?
What?
Like here, knight d5.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
95 was played.
you play this. Oh wait, you're straight. Okay, okay, my bad.
Okay.
You wouldn't really
So
want to take, so you probably play something like d6 to keep things symmetrical.
yeah, I mean, but it's probably still equal just because
Play
neither side,
c4.
yeah, neither side is active enough to take advantage.
White has a bit more space, but nothing significant.
I mean, if you gave this an engine could probably win it, but not. I mean,
Win is a strong word. This feels very still. It feels okay. This is not theory, but it feels like it can be a theoretical position kind of view, right? Like the way along the
but
way.
probably in theoretical positions, your bishop is here, not here.
But
I think
here
that's the
we
only
see
difference.
here we see an advantage of the bishop being on a7 though. The knight isn't hitting it,
True.
so black can spend the time to play d6 instead. It's just that white can grab space
Yeah, but
and
because white has more space, I think an engine could probably like grind this into a win somehow.
rather than maybe, but I feel like the edge here isn't really like a lot more like more space versus little space, right? The space is somewhat equal. I think the advantage here is initiative, right? Because it's like
Mm.
they are very equal. The only
Yeah, white
difference
has
is that
control.
white has control and white can manage to play knight d5 first, and black can play knight d4. So white is the one with the
Yeah.
hole on the center, but it's still very close and very equal.
I mean, this is just a matter of who blunders first.
It's still a very rich position though.
Yeah,
Equal
but
doesn't
instead
mean
knight takes.
yeah. Instead knight takes, which I don't think is the best because you allow bishop takes, and now there is a pin over here, and this is strong. You're
Yeah,
losing a pawn.
playing this, I guess, to
You
stop
lose
the
a pawn
pin,
right
but
away, right?
yeah, you just lose the
And I think that happened. Yeah, bishop takes,
pawn.
and wait,
Knight takes probably better,
knight takes was a lot better, right?
probably because
You
like
support
this
this.
knight is just very strong.
You support this. The bishop doesn't. Okay, like okay, I know some people like to meme that Twitch culture has led to like very informal um terms like juicers and like snipers. But in this case, the analogy actually makes sense. the sniper doesn't really want to be on the in the front lines aiming at things, right? Like sure, it looks nice, but it can be very easily kicked back, and it's not really as strong
Yeah, you're gonna
up
have to
front
waste
and
a lot
close
of
personal.
time.
Yeah, the
Because if you
knight,
if you if you get attacked here, right, you just have to go back to where you came from,
and then
basically.
it's miserable, and you lose control.
Yeah. But
The
if the knight
knight,
if
on
the
the other
if knight
hand,
takes, like, if we play this now, the knight actually can do
oh,
something.
yeah, the knight
Like,
is
you,
much stronger. And also, if
it's a matter of like where you can put the piece after
yeah,
this move.
and also the knight is so much stronger on the forefront. With the knight in front controlling the squares ahead, the bishop supporting from behind, and the pawns
Yeah.
getting ready to just grab space. This is very very comfortable for white.
Yeah, I just like
Like
this position.
yeah, engine
It's
probably just gives a very small advantage.
nope, plus 2.3.
Oh lol. Just goes to show how good it is. I was just gonna say
Yeah,
like
it's just
maybe
crushing.
it's not as great, but it's super nice to play as white. Moves
Yeah,
like f4, c4, or maybe instead d4 coming very very quickly. And
everything
black has a
is
lot of questions. Then this position is
okay.
the
Maybe
position
not
that
F4
confuses
because
me.
F4 is an illegal move.
True, but maybe after d4, d4 f4.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But the idea is this position is the position that you mentioned earlier where you said NG will grind it to win because this is more space versus less space. A
And
lot
I
more
mean, this is just
space.
completely winning for
Yeah,
the
it's
engine. So
completely winning. So instead bishop takes still not terrible. White still has some advantage. It's just that the control isn't as strong. D5 was played very accurate. Recognizing that the knight is not there, I
yeah,
need to strike when I can. So opening things up, e
very good mate.
takes, bishop takes, and now rook e1. So white sort of tried converted the control over the center into some piece control, which is still kind of nice.
Mm,
But black's bishop pair starting to gain a bit of life.
yeah. Okay, so
Rook e8 countering
e8,
that.
c4.
Okay, c4 is good
Uh,
move, gaining space.
yeah, interesting move.
Yeah, it's definitely a good move.
Takes,
And I don't
takes,
like trading.
takes. No, but you do gain a pawn
You
back, I
gain the
assume.
pawn back, but I think you actually lose more
Oh, yeah,
from
you lose
that
another
trade.
pawn.
Yeah.
Check, check, here, here.
F4, bishop b5. Okay.
Okay.
So you still
Oh,
wait, what? I guess that's a mouse slip.
but what was the point? Where are you going anyway?
Let me just
But
hear.
how do you slip two squares?
Whoa. Actually flick your mouse sensitivity too high.
Fair.
Maybe Junior Fried Rice was
But
playing
but you
CSGO
have
earlier.
you have 7 minutes left. Why are you flicking?
Yeah. Both of them played a bit too fast. You can see both of them still have like 7 minutes on the clock. It's very crazy.
These they're probably blitz players, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We
I
can
spoke
tell
way
right
too
with their
loud.
very tactical play style, very dynamic position favoring. You
Yeah,
see here, unfortunately, black just loses a piece, hanging a
he's
piece there.
gone.
And
Uh,
oh,
probably
was
you
it a
probably just take the
tactic?
bishop.
Was this was this planned? I don't think so, right? It was probably just a mouse slip.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Too
nothing
many
here
ways to
because
stop, right?
this is hanging. So
You can take, you can even defend, you can even bring a rook back, you can
yeah,
bring
so defend was played.
so many ways. Yeah, just defend, play it safe, take it next maybe after getting some. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is over. This is
Oh no.
over. Just push promote.
Uh,
Yep. Okay, this is
uh,
over, and black resigns
and
here in
black
this
loses.
position. Yep.
So white won every single game.
Yep. So let's head over to Armageddon. And surprise, surprise, black is the one who wins this game. Which just goes to show, even in a field where white wins every game, Armageddon still favors black by so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the pressure of having to win for white.
But we don't even know what happened in the game. So before we let's just actually see what happens. We get
Okay.
another knight attack. White getting
Oh, not this line
aggressive.
again. Why?
Very curious actually. Homemade Pizza previously also played white and did reasonably well in the four nights. So I'm
I
curious why
think I
he went for
remember
this
that
night. Yeah,
Peter like doesn't know theory actually,
true. But I was
from what I've
maybe
heard.
Pizza was getting confident after winning despite down an exchange in this opening. So maybe that's why they go for it.
But
Or
I
maybe
mean, objectively, the opening is just bad.
true. But I guess the idea is that you know what, I need to win, right? Drawing favors black, so maybe that was a
Oh no.
decision.
I see what happened.
Oh, it was a nice try. It was a nice try,
Yeah, we analyzed
but
this earlier,
queen
so
g2
let's
was
not bother
spotted.
with that.
Oh, yeah, and the line went as we expected.
Everything happened exactly as we called, as we.
And now the knight is trapped as well.
Oh God,
The knight is
all
trapped
this
as
happened.
well. Oh
All this
no.
happened.
Yeah.
I, I mean,
Yeah, okay. That was a sad finish. Black wins by checkmate.
nice
Oh,
mate at least.
yeah, it was a nice mate. Very, very
Just a
tactical
terrible
match between
opening.
these two. Fireworks
Supremely
everywhere.
bad opening.
Yeah, but the match was interesting. At least we can say
Yeah,
that.
it was an interesting match. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
and we want to look at Game 6 as well, right?
Yep. Another one
So
of
let's
Junior
Game
Fried
6.
Rice. So Junior Fried Rice won the match against Homemade Pizza, and now they're playing against Srepin, I
I mean,
think.
they won the group, didn't they?
I think so. I'm not playing in the tournament, so I didn't pay that close attention. I was busy.
I
So,
mean, they made it to. I mean, they won the tournament, so
oh yeah,
like I assume that they just won the group. I
probably
think
right.
Pizza was second in the group.
Yeah,
Who did Pizza play against?
not
I don't
sure.
remember.
But anyway, if anyone is watching, both Homemade Pizza and Junior Fried Rice, both of them played pretty good games. Um,
Very high quality, I
Yeah,
will
so
say.
feel free to check out more of their games in the Lichess study link in the description below. Check their games out. We are only going to cover one more game from them because most of them weren't really that educational or as
Yeah,
interesting as the tactical fireworks in this first match. But we will still take a look at um, this game here between Junior Fried Rice and Serpin because there are some things I would like to comment about this opening in particular. So you see e4, e5, knight f6, knight c6, very very classical. But then comes the Ponziani with c3.
I mean, you have fun with this.
Yeah, I have fun with this. And the thing is, there were a lot of Ponzianis in this group. A lot of Ponzianis were played. That's why I picked one of the
Yeah,
Ponzianis just to
I believe
showcase.
Junior Fried Rice really likes the Ponziani,
Yeah, and
which is why I was surprised we didn't see it.
yeah, we didn't maybe because of its more dubious nature compared to Italian. Not that they played
Fair.
very
And
theoretical
I
Italian
think Homemade
either.
Pizza was the highest rated opponent in this
Yeah,
group,
probably because
so
of
I
that.
guess scared. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess maybe Ponziani was sort of a win more opening. And that actually worked out really well. I checked out more of Junior Ferrari's games and I think the same traps occurred over and over again. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
I would like
Um
to like mention a story just for fun.
yeah.
Uh, in my over the board tournament, one of my friends got a Ponziani played against them, blundered, was completely losing, and then their opponent flagged in 90 plus 30.
Mm, that's sad. That's
Yeah,
sad. I mean, I don't know what that feeling is like because I've never played classical before, but it must feel pretty
terrible.
bad.
I mean, you flag a completely winning game when you have 30-second increment. I mean, you're just gonna feel like terrible.
True.
Just be like, oh my god, I could have won that. Oh my god, why?
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this game.
Okay,
We see the one of the main lines, the Yanish counter attack with knight f6.
e4.
Very simple idea: attack the pawn, develop both knights, get a dynamic position. We see d4. The whole point of c3 is to play d4 to build a center. E takes d4,
What?
e5.
Normally you take the pawn here, right?
Hmm?
Normally you play this,
Both
right?
moves are playable. Both moves are
Ah,
playable. Yeah. So here black decided to
mm,
choose for d e takes d5, which is actually the more dynamic one, the more
mm.
fireworks one, I guess. After e5, there
Knight
actually is
g4.
only one good way to
Knight
one good
e4, right?
square, yeah, which is knight e4, which is why knight takes e4 is
I mean, I
also
guess
normal.
d5 is playable.
D5 here,
Knight d5, sorry.
knight d5 is
Also playable.
playable, but then you can just c takes d4 and then you
Yeah,
prepare
yeah.
and just enjoy your center, and then your opening is really successful already,
This kind of looks like an Alkine actually, but with a missing e pawn.
which just goes to show how good it is, right?
Yeah.
If it's at your yeah. So instead, knight g4 was played, which is tempting
Really?
because it feels like, oh, King's Indian
Mm.
structures, you just play knight g4, win back the pawn, easy peasy. Except for in the Ponziani, you played c3, and the time has come. C takes d4. Now this pawn center is untouchable. D6 right
Mm.
away is good recognition, trying to contest immediately. But here, actually, this is not so accurate. Here, the way to play is actually to recognize that this knight is misplaced. There is no good way to move the knight and to play h3 immediately. The move order does actually matter.
Oh, and
Yeah, because
its
if knight
structure just looks
h6,
terrible.
just strike, smite, and
And
now
then
only
now you
bishop
can take
b5.
off.
Yeah, there
Ah,
is a difference because now here you can't really play d takes e5 that easily. Whereas in the previous position here, where bishop b5 is played immediately, you can actually play d takes e5, and you don't have the same thing. You can't really play h3
yeah, because you can't
because
go
now you
back,
have
right?
no. Now you have e4.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the spicy stuff. And now it's not as great because you
Yeah,
don't
of
want to
course.
allow the knight to go back, so you would take and try to at least claim the open file, but then speed this. Of course, white is still slightly better, right, with the lead in development
And the
and
pain, I mean,
the pin, but it's not as great as it could be, like compared to the other position where you just wreck the structure.
yeah.
Okay, so bishop b5 first, still not bad. D takes e5 wasn't spotted. A6 was played, and this is
Ooh.
actually a mistake that we have seen several times in the previous groups, where a6 is forcing the issue, but the thing is, all the options are good for white,
Yeah,
and now
takes.
this
You can already go
justifies.
after the pawns.
Yeah, and now you can even play h3 and takes. So
Yeah.
this justifies this move order, because you waste the
Mm.
tempo with a6. So indeed, we do see, although white didn't know the exact move order, white still know the general ideas. h3 was indeed played. The knight only has one way to go. Knight h6, and now again, there are a few ways you can play this. You can, like you mentioned earlier, you can go after the pawns, or you can even take here, or you can
Yeah,
even
just take,
try
which is the
to
idea of
do
h3.
something with the pawn center. Is fine as well.
I guess you take first, right? Because you don't want to allow knight f5.
It's one of the moves, definitely. Bishop takes h6 is always a move that you can play
Yeah.
in this
But
type
you
of
probably play
position.
it first before you do anything else, just so the knight doesn't escape.
Yeah, it's definitely preferable, but it's definitely not the only winning or only better
Yeah, yeah.
move. Here, white decide to just castle. Opening successful. I got the center. I got lead in
Okay.
development. I got better pieces. I just get my king to safety. If you take my pawn, you will be in for a world of hurt. So you have
And
to
they
be
did
very
take the pawn.
careful. They did take, and Rook E1 was indeed played. So white very clearly, very familiar with the themes of the opening. So Bishop E7 trying to castle as soon as possible. But here,
Oh god, no, but then
actually, you
here you can
can
just take, right?
you can always take. That is always a
Yeah.
move that you take. If you didn't spot it in the first move, you're not going to
You're
play
probably
it.
not gonna see it.
Yeah. But knight takes is both knight takes and rook takes. Knight takes is definitely also a very good choice by white because
Mm.
you're going to pick up a lot of pawns
Yeah, and also you can go for this now.
at any point, right? At any
Yeah,
point.
but I think after this next move castles, now you can really see it.
Now, definitely, bishop takes h6 is
Because then the
definitely,
queen comes in, I mean, yikes.
yeah. But I think
Uh,
white
And both
white
sides were
decides
just
to go
blind
for the
too.
material advantage instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, simply taking.
Just take the piece though.
Yeah, now this piece
Take
is
the
hanging,
piece.
and just normal development. Again, you can trade this at any point. Nice move, nice move. Not
Okay.
panicking, and you just take the pawn, or you just trade. That's fine as well.
Okay. Oh, what?
Whoops.
Uh, let's say like here, probably. Yeah, about here.
Yeah, and we see a very swift conversion, maintaining control of the e file, not trading first, except found a nice
Ooh,
fork.
ooh. And
And
now you just
a
have to
nice
take.
way to trade down pieces. And now with a piece up, just trade down pawns, and very
I mean,
simple game from
here you
white.
don't have to play with this bishop. You can just put this here.
Yeah,
Black will never get through.
yeah.
I mean, composure.
And a few more moves later,
Black just gives up.
yeah,
Okay.
black resigns.
So
So a nice showcase of how easy it is to go wrong against the Pozziani, and it's actually a very easy opening to learn because even if you don't know the specific move order, the open the if the opening is effective against your opponent, probably you don't need to know the move order for it to be effective,
Yeah.
right? It's like one of those openings where if you play it with the intention to trap people, like not to get a equal position, you want to trap people, just knowing the ideas and the resources within the rich opening is already plenty, and you can see
Mm.
that in full display over here. Of course, if you want to play on a higher level, that's a different story, but that's the case with all openings.
Okay.
Okay, let's go on to the next game.
We want to move on to
Next,
J immediately, right?
yeah, yeah, true.
The game
I
30.
Group I there was some
Not
games,
much.
but not too many interesting games. If anyone is interested, of course, I've still linked it into the description
Yeah.
below, so
And we
feel
can
free to go
of
check it
course
out.
make a like a video on it, right? If we
Yeah, if
really want.
anyone really wants to find out more about a certain position or a certain game or a certain
Yeah.
match, just let us know in the comments below or
In this
private messages on
in
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
So,
am curious.
what do you want to look at?
Game 13, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was this one. Education.
Okay.
1582 versus 1501. Okay, interesting. Should we get started?
13. Wait, I'm not on the. Okay, yeah, yeah. For a moment, there, I thought I wasn't synced.
Oh,
Okay, after a plethora of E4 openings, you get D4 opening. Nice.
finally. And E6 is a bit of a weird one, but okay, sure.
Horowitz defense. I guess it's just a transposition. It's sort of a transposition into the Queen's Gambit
Yeah.
decline most of the time, right?
Or French, maybe.
Except
London,
London
haha.
time.
We love to see it.
You love to see it. I don't.
Ah!
We
Okay,
see a
h5
Gambit
is
line. Oh
interesting.
wait, is this a Oh no, the Gambit
No,
line
it's
is
not a
with
gambit.
C.
It's just a terrible position.
Yeah, it's just a. I think this is like some sort of tricky trappy line. Trying to trap the bishop as soon as
Is it?
possible.
Oh yeah, I guess like if you come back, like I guess h5 is something. No, not h6.
H5.
h5. But you just play h4. But I guess like okay, it's a trap, I guess.
There might also be one. There might also be like some shenanigans here. Play f6 with your u3. Play
And then more
h5.
h5,
Yeah,
but then still
like
h4.
this sort of thing. And I play g4.
This feels like a bullet kind of thing. But okay, I guess you can say, oh, I have more space on king side.
I don't think it's this exact move order, but I've played something similar for bullet.
Ah,
I think I
wait.
used to. Yeah, at some point I used to start every game with e6
Oh,
because I played the French, right? I played the
yeah.
French, I played Nimzo, I play Queen's Indian. So I used to start bullet games with e6, and then I played something like that against the London,
Hmm.
some sort of trap like that, but not this move order. I don't think, not like that.
Okay,
Might be even
interesting.
more dubious, but never mind. Bishop f4 g5.
Yeah,
So
it probably does well. I remember a long time ago, I trapped my bishop in a blitz game
one
like
of
this.
these lines, I forgot what the line was.
No,
It's
I
been
no,
too long.
I saw h5 and I was like, I played like e3 or something.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah,
definitely gets definitely traps.
yeah. I think that was a blitz game I played, something like this.
Hmm.
Okay. Instead of h5, we got d5.
It's like a d5 transposing into a normal opening with a weird pawn on g5. E3. Oh wait, sorry, my bad.
Ugh,
E3, F6, inviting Queen H5
why?
check, which was indeed played. And the reason I wanted
Already,
to showcase this game was kind of this, like making a
it's like
smiley
this.
face.
This is why Ben Feingold says never play f6. This is why.
Yeah, because from Black's perspective, Black was thinking that this is a very smiley face, but in the objective position, this was a frown, and we can tell that Black considered all the light squares. Just because you are black pieces doesn't mean you only need to play on the dark squares. White square control is still very important, and without the knight here on c6 and knight here on f6, the queen just
Okay.
invades.
Just what
All
is
the pawn
this?
moves, yeah, you can see that this is very, very dubious. All the pieces are on the back rank. Maybe black is just prepared to play the next game.
I mean, h6.
Trying to keep everything under control. The argument is that there are a lot of pawns here, and white's pieces can't really get in, but that
They
easily
can.
changes very, very quickly.
You just White just starts throwing the pawn.
Yeah, because black has spent so much time on pawns, white can afford to spend a few tempi on pawns as well.
And the thing is, White already has pieces.
Yep. and the
And
rook is
if
gonna come in soon.
let's say we have tempi with like this, right? Because this comes with tempo.
Knight f6
We
comes
have
with
a.
tempo as well, so you probably play knight f6.
I mean, we can probably just keep the queen around.
How?
Queen f3.
Yeah. That wouldn't be how I define around, but I guess that's correct.
But because you still have like, you still have vision. I
Yeah,
mean, if you really want, you can just play like queen d1.
I don't want the queen d1. I want to keep the queen on f3. I want to play this
Yeah,
as well.
queen f3 is probably nice.
But okay, instead something very similar was played, but not quite. Instead, e5, bishop e5 was played. Now
Oh,
grabbing
now you can
control
just.
of both the light squares and dark squares. Very interesting move. Queen
Oh.
g6 sneaking in. I don't really like that, but definitely an option as well.
I mean, like fair enough, I
This
guess.
is actually keeping the queen around and trying to take the knight.
Just
Bishop
defending.
d7, trying to huddle down turtle mode. Oh, more
Mm.
pawn moves is not quite what I like. I was expecting something more turtling, more developing, and now this is threatened over here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a fork, and white
Can go.
finds it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Pieces are dropping like flies.
Everything going bye-bye.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting. Now we get F4. I mean, what does black even do?
black resigns. White
No,
doesn't even
what
want
doesn't
to move
no
the
one doesn't
rook
even need the rope. Oh
because
god,
this is made
mate is coming.
soon.
Okay, yeah, okay. And black just resigns.
Yeah, you can only play bishop e7, trying to hold on.
Just bring the rope.
Yep, there's no stopping.
Black go bye-bye. That's all we can say.
Yeah, you
Even
can't
bring the
even
knight.
run the king. Maybe this, and then just rook
You just bring the
h1.
rope though.
Maybe try and defend the bishop. You need to defend it first. Then you can even just prevent
Yeah.
escape.
Yeah,
Prevent
okay.
all escape. And this is
Just
force
something.
mate.
You did, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for the fun stuff.
For the fun stuff.
Knight
Wait.
route.
I just want to mention that I included this game. Uh, you can see that actually Penguin is playing at a much higher level, but it's sort of a game to showcase why opening principles exist and what can happen and what can go wrong. Like that's why you want to control the center. That's why you want to develop pieces. That way you can control more squares and you concede less control. You maintain activity. There are more things you can do, more good options, and you can find better moves. So and it's much easier to play. So that's just a show of how
Also,
disregarding one
when
or two
grandmasters say something, usually it's a good idea to listen to them.
grandmasters made a draw using the pawn card. I wouldn't. Okay, never mind.
I
But
mean, you can play the bomb cloud if you want.
you should only listen to them when it's about chess, okay? Let's not listen to them about things other than chess, like memes, for example. A lot of grandmasters are very bad at memes. But
Also,
anyway,
Magnus Carlsen has once stated that he has no idea how to do anything that isn't chess. So
he knows how to play fantasy football.
fair,
Yeah,
but his hobby is also reading Donald Duck comics. So
really.
yeah,
I've seen him play tennis before. I've seen him play football before.
yeah, and his favorite thing to do is read Donald Duck comics.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
fun fact about the world champion: he likes Donald Duck.
yeah. I wonder why. Okay, that's all that we'll be looking at for Group J.
Let's go, let's go. Group K,
Group K. So
we did it.
Meridian, this is your group. You
Yeah,
have played in a tournament just for the group stages, just for fun, I guess.
yeah. I just played this because I was like bored.
Yep. So
I
take
mean,
us away. It's all yours.
I
Which game
mean,
are we looking at?
there are many games that would be fun. It depends on whether you want high quality chess or me screwing around.
Let's just take us to the game.
Okay, let's look at my favorite game in this group. That would be, I believe, Group 18. Yes. No, number 18. Sorry.
Yeah, game chapter 18.
Let's go.
So
We love to see it
Dushman,
progress.
Dushman is Meridian,
Yeah. Well,
and
I played this in
fighting against
solo.
Ninja Star. So is 1500 is their actual
No,
rating?
no provisional.
Oh, that so they're new.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's provisional. So
Uh,
the match situation we should mention first. Mary is up by two. So this could potentially, I mean, it is the
I mean,
last game between
I had
them.
to, right?
Yeah.
You're up
So
2-0. You have to play this.
so during the last game and all, Murray decides to spice things up a bit with a bomb cloud attack.
I would also like to mention that I was in school and my friends were watching this game, so
Peer
I had to like
pressure.
take some of their suggestions into account.
I see. So you played this tournament with outside assistance, is what you're saying?
My friends are rated like 200, so
So
I
you are
wouldn't have
claiming
considered
that you
assistance.
have outside assistance from 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 rated chess players in the same affiliation as you? Are you admitting to cheating here, sir?
I mean, I didn't play past the group stages, so
Let's just take a look at the games.
Volov don't write a document about me. I'm sorry. What
Olaf
about
isn't
you?
here watching the stream
Oh, thank God.
for now.
Knight c6, and then
King
if I had to,
f3. Is this really the way to go? I feel like I'm gonna get
it
checkmated
is
soon.
not. Y- Uh, you're not, but you're gonna have to give up a lot of material to not get checkmated.
Okay, it feels like a checkmate pattern that I've seen before sometime in one of the previous games. Like, what was the game? We saw this earlier, and then there was like this queen here, bishop here, mate in one of the
Yeah,
groups earlier, right? Because this
yeah.
pawn wasn't pushed.
But
Okay,
of course, the
h3.
typical idea is to like get this.
We are
So
not going to. Okay, wait. I should turn on engine for this one. I'll turn on engine just to show the viewers how many blunders they were. All the moves you made were
blunder,
blunders.
blunder,
Wait. Give me
blunder.
a moment. Give me a moment.
I mean, I made 4 blunders in this game, and like all
Okay.
of them were the opening.
Let's go back to the first move. E4, E5. Of course, engines don't understand human play, so they don't understand the masterpiece that is King E2. So
No, because
disregard this blunder. This is not
engines have
blunder.
never smoked a bomb before.
True. Don't think they have. I guess they will overheat if that happened.
Yeah,
Yeah. So King E2, ignore this blunder. This is not blunder. It's totally intentional. Knight C6. Okay, from here onwards, every move with a double question mark and a red circle, you can treat as a blunder.
yeah. I would like to mention that I think like my score in this game was like 4-1 inaccuracy, 4 blunders, and all of the 4 blunders are in the next 5 moves.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
F3,
Okay, King F3.
D6, H3,
Basically, just doing nothing, giving free moves.
yeah, E3, just hitting the queen, and then
It's a
after
mate
check
in
F8.
one. It's a mate in one. Knight D4. It's mate in one.
I mean, but mate wasn't spotted, and now
Yeah,
King G3.
this was where I think starting from here, right, after like King E3, like after it was sort of like he was saying, I'm gonna give you a mate in one chance. Do you want to take it? I'm gonna give you a
Like
win.
just come on, man, come
Yeah.
on.
You don't spot it? Okay. Full serious mode on. Play super accurately from here on
Now we
onwards.
get knight d4, a move too
But it's
late.
a bit too late, yeah. Black tries to
Bishop
grasp
e3.
what they once were offered, but it was too
Yeah.
late.
And I want you guys to watch this king. Just watch this king. Knight c6.
Okay.
Now I'm just developing, right? Except like my king is somehow here instead of here.
I'm curious why didn't you play knight f3 earlier with the intention of bishop g5?
I don't know. I have no
I
idea.
know it's a really a very inspiring, confidence inspiring statement. Then you can hide here.
I did hide there.
Okay, let's continue looking at the game. King g6. Okay,
So we
you
got
hide, you hit there.
queen g6, right? And then
King
there's
h2. Now your king is safe.
of course the idea of the bomb cloud is to just bring your king to one of these squares.
Nigel's short incarnation. Okay,
e6 and then
trying
knight
to
f3.
sack here
Now we get
maybe.
knight f3.
Mm-hmm.
H4, king 6,
I'm
and
expecting
then
this. Oh no, now it hangs the pawn.
hey,
Oh no, this hangs the queen.
in one move.
That's very sad.
Bishop e7, just bring the knight back.
And now I
h5.
understand why all your moves were so accurate because you're up a queen. That's why no matter what you did, the evaluation
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah. There's
change.
just there's just nothing there.
So it isn't really you turning on your serious mode. It's just getting a free queen.
I mean, I was serious until I got the free queen, and then there's just no more need to be serious.
True. Okay, let's go on. And g5 trading off pieces. No way, no
H
real way to
takes
avoid it.
takes.
Yep. Even there are even ideas of playing d5, d4, d5 here.
Yeah, then just and now
Oh
the
wait,
king g1,
why?
king
Don't you want the
f1,
rook?
and
Trade more pieces.
e1.
Back to e1. Nice
Yeah, no,
pilgrimage.
right around like here I told my friend like beside me, I was like, bro, watch this, I'm gonna play this,
Immortal
and then I
King
did it.
Rush. Nice
After trading a few
vacation.
pieces,
Yeah.
I just put the king on e1 and then played this, just skew the rooks. Man, I gave the guy like two moves, two free moves to get to unskew the rooks, and I mean at this
Yeah.
point I have to, right?
I mean, to be fair, you gave a lot of free moves. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. You gave eight free moves, right?
Yeah,
This is like those bullet tactics where you just keep moving the knight back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then when somebody finally plays d4, you do the other knight.
I mean I have only one regret in this game, and it's that after this I didn't go king f2, rook f1, and manually castle my king.
Yeah, that was what I was expecting you to do much earlier without the king back to e1. But okay,
No, I mean the king was tired. I had to take a trip around the world to relax. Quick vacation.
a trip around the world is not a way to relax, man. Okay,
I
knight
mean,
fd6. Just give up
okay,
the rook.
everything
Takes.
comes off.
Yeah.
Uh, take the knight.
You could have taken earlier and won the bishop, right?
Hmm?
Oh no, sorry, my bad.
No, because yeah, the diagonal wasn't open. And here I just gave up my queen because I did not care.
Because you wanted to give more opportunities for the king to walk more, right?
Yeah, and then after I gave up a free pawn.
Wait, what happened to your king? Ah, okay, the king is starting to exercise, alright.
My king
e4,
d4. It wins everything.
and then checkmate. A classical ladder mate.
In the middle of the board, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I think on that note, shall we end the session?
Sure.
Can
Oh
end
wait,
it
I think
here.
is there one more Bangkok game in this? I believe it was this. Was it one of these?
No,
Uh,
no.
no more
I'm looking at
Bangkok.
the notation. No.
Sag. Oh well. Okay, then we can end it.
Yeah. So there are only two groups left. L and M. No, yeah, L and M. But I didn't want to include it in this stream because I think there are a few people who will be interested in the game specifically, like for example Mei,
Ah, yeah, yeah. Man.
and
We can finally move
also
on.
I think maybe Poppies. Not sure. Maybe they might be interested in their games. So I let them
And I
maybe
guess like
have.
next week we can also do a few cleanup games if anyone has any requests.
Yeah, that's why give them some time to send any requests or anything like that. Then we can cover more games if they want anything covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kana just said they forgot to submit anything.
What? Kana?
Kana,
Uh
I
huh.
believe they were Group I
What
in
did they
this group.
say?
I forgot to submit anything,
Oh.
so we can just cover it next week.
Yeah, 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 okay. Sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
So next week will be LM and any cover up games or any requests that
We
anyone.
missed.
Yeah. So okay, with that we can end the session here.
Yeah.
Not too many people came to chat
Wait,
today.
isn't next Saturday Christmas?
Is it?
It is Christmas stream. Let's go.
Oh, all right. Then let me know beforehand if you're not free. I think I'm free.
I don't really celebrate Christmas, so I'll probably
Same.
be fine.
So yeah. All right. Then with that, we shall end it here. Lucky for Meridian, Volaf wasn't here when he exposed himself. So I'll let you know if he watches the archive, or if they
I
watch
mean,
the
if I get a
archive.
doc written about me, I mean, too bad, I guess.
Yeah. Refund all your Discord nitros.
They ran out, so too bad.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, that's all for today. Um, we'll get the request and finally finish the group. We didn't think it was possible, but somehow we
we,
made it
we we
happen.
had to skip a lot of games. If we covered every single game, I think we'd still be on like Group D.
Yeah, skip a lot of groups. Okay, that's all.
Okay.